Welcome to the podcast. This is Mr. Ish. We're here at Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club, Kildare Clubhouse, Summer Camp 2023. That's all I got to say. Nothing else. I know it's cold in my room. I still got people falling asleep. This is a hard job, man. I'm not ready for this. Let's go around and just introduce ourselves. Give me your name and your age.
My name is Mason, and I'm 8 years old.
Okay, Mason. Welcome to the podcast.
My name is Caitlin, and I'm also 8 years old.
Kaylin, you mumbled the whole thing. Let's try it again. Go ahead.
My name is Caitlin, and I'm 8 years old.
All right, Kaylin, welcome.
My name is Kimberly, and I'm 8 years old, too.
Okay, welcome. Welcome all to the podcast. Today, this should be a good topic. Who wants to tell the people the topic that we're doing? Yeah, you can tell them. It was your topic.
All right. What is your biggest fear?
What's your biggest fear? That's a deep one, man.
Yeah.
That could come from the corazón. What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is snakes.
Snakes?
Yeah.
That's it?
No, I just don't like them biting me.
You can't do that because you're gonna hit this and make sounds. You just sit back. Cause they what? Cause they make sounds?
No, they make sounds and they keep on biting me. Sometimes.
So what about viewers around a whole bunch of snakes and they made sounds but they didn't bite you?
No.
No?
I just don't like it when they're around me.
Okay. Have you ever touched a snake before?
Yes, but it was good.
It was good?
I like their the skin touch.
The skin is
Yeah.
skin feels funny. Have you ever had a snake wrap itself around you? Like even your arm?
No. Never.
That feels funny. It feels a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a fear of snakes.
Yeah.
What's one of your fears?
My fear is not heights, it's falling from heights.
Oh. Yeah, because going up is not a problem. It's just falling. Falling will be a bad problem. Have you ever been somewhere real high?
Yes.
Where?
It was like a really, really tall tower next to the, near where the Twin Towers was.
Okay.
And, my ears were ringing because we were going so high.
So it wasn't the Twin Towers. It's not. Or was it the new building, the World Trade Center?
Yeah, it was a new building.
Okay. How does it? You went all the way to the top?
Yes.
How does it look from up there?
Everything is really small.
Yeah, it looks like little ants.
Yes.
But it is beautiful. Okay, so you don't have a fear of heights. You have a fear of falling. Have you ever had one of those dreams that you're falling, and
So
then
many
and then so in your dream, do you ever hit the floor?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Same.
Because people say that if you actually hit the floor or think that you hit the floor, that most of the time you could probably die, because your fear is so much. I've had those dreams. I never hit the floor though.
I have.
Yeah, I never hit the floor. You hit the floor?
Yeah, and it hit my tooth.
That's wild.
Once
Yeah.
I had one that I fell into a body of water.
And then body of water is scary too, because if you don't know how to swim.
In pools, not like oceans.
Yeah, ocean and pool, two different swimming techniques. Yeah, they're both scary though. What's one of your fears?
My biggest fear is roller coasters because sometimes they're high and they always go in a circle
Yeah.
because sometimes it makes people head dizzy and so they want to vomit.
Yeah.
I don't like roller coasters because I can't imagine getting stuck all the way up there.
Oh yeah, that one.
That's not gonna be fun.
That happened.
If you're in one of those things that you're in a twirl around and you're all the way at the top and they get stuck, you're gonna be hanging there for a minute. It's not gonna be good.
What's
Even
your
when
biggest
you're
fear?
hearing about
Huh?
it.
What's your biggest fear?
I was getting to it. I think that right there is I don't want to do one of those rides that you have to go like this, like that, and then all of a sudden you go to the top and it gets stuck
That one's
because there's
scary.
no ladders. There's no easy way out. Like they will have to get that machinery to actually work again so that you could get out of there. It's too much. So I don't really like doing rides like that. But as a fear, I think the fear right now, I think mostly is just not being around for my kids. I think as an adult, it's a little different. So just not being around for my daughters and my son, I think is my biggest fear. Um, no particular reason why. I don't. I don't never get in trouble, but I try to avoid being in trouble. I put myself in situations that I'm not, in the streets at late night and anything like that. So I kind of, you know, try to not be in these dangerous places. But we do live in New York, and danger could come to us. I could go to the park, walk my dog, and be in danger. So you never know. So I just try to avoid anything that could be dangerous in that sense. Um, but that's, I guess, my biggest fear is not being there for my kids. Any other fears you got besides snakes?
I have
What you got?
being alone.
Being alone. What you mean being alone? Like being
Like,
old and then being alone?
Like by myself.
So you can't stay home by yourself?
No.
So do you have your own room?
Kind of.
Or you share it with somebody?
Yeah, sure, my
Okay.
brother.
So you don't have to worry about that. So you can't be like in a room by yourself? Like if I was to say sit in that room all the way over there and you by yourself, you can't sit there? It will bother you?
I feel like I can sit there, but after like a few minutes, I get scared.
But what are you scared of?
Um,
The boogeyman? Someone grabbing your leg. Everyone's scared of this.
That was
Someone
my
grabbing
biggest fear.
someone grabbing your leg from under the bed. Everyone, that's the everyone's favorite fear.
Nope.
You don't like dangling your feet because you think someone's gonna grab your foot from under the bed. That's just watching horror films. That doesn't happen
I don't like
unless somebody's actually under the bed trying to drag your foot. That is totally different.
I don't like people that's under the bed. Like when no one's there, like when nothing's there, they just like go under it. Then when I'm asleep, my kind of leg falls down, and they like touch it, but all I see is just a dream. No one's there. And then actually my leg's down.
So who's done that to you? Your
Almost.
brother? No.
Almost he did it.
But
I
it's
moved.
happened to me before.
Someone grabbed your leg from under the bed?
Who?
Well, because like I was at my old friend's house. She has a lot of sisters, so we were sitting on her bed, and one of her sisters was under the bed and grabbed up both of her legs.
That's scary.
He wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah.
So, but they did it on purpose. It's not like a monster was under the bed type of thing. They were just doing it to tease you. Do you have any other fears besides what was it? You say snakes and
Yeah.
being alone. Yours is what are your two fears?
Falling from like tall places.
Falling from tall places. Anything else?
My
Anything
biggest
else?
fear is when what is it again?
Someone's
yeah.
chewing. I feel like it.
My biggest fear is cockroaches because last time
Oh yeah, cockroaches.
my sister, a cockroach was calling and went in her ears. That's why my fear is cockroaches.
Cockroaches in the ear, not a good idea.
That's
I
why.
rhymed that one. You saw that? I think when I was young, I lived with my grandma, and I had the same thing. When you kind of close your eyes and you close your eyes tight, you can hear like a crunching in your ear. When I was young, I think I was about 6, 7 years old. That happened to me, and I had a roach in my ear, and every time I used to swallow or do like that, I heard it go like clicking, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" So my grandmother finally took me to the hospital, and when they went in the hospital, you know how they put that thing to look in your ear to make sure everything's fine?
Yeah.
It's like a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
So it made, because it was a magnifying glass, it made the roach look like really big, like it was a big monster or something in there. So my grandma was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this." So the only way to get it out of your ear is a suction, like what the dentists use for your saliva. Like when you have your mouth open, they always put like this little machine in there that's like and it's sucking up all the saliva. So it's kind of the same thing, but it was a suction for your ear, and it like first they went in there with, I guess, to pick it out, and they couldn't, so they had to do a suction. So they suction it out, and it feels like they sucking the air out of your brain. And then when they took it out, it was like one of those little minor, small little ones, but it was in there. And every time I used to click, I guess it was close to my eardrum, and that's one of my fears. I don't have a fear for it, but it's some. I clean my ears a lot because of it. I clean my ears out because of it. So if I go to the bathroom and I see a Q-tip, I always have to clean my ears.
Sometimes when my ear is itching because it always itches every single time. I always feel like there's a cockroach inside my ear, so I tell my dad or my mom or
To check?
sister to check because it always feels like something's like
Yeah.
crawling.
This is the reason why I always check my ears. Yeah.
Oh,
Stop hitting the microphone.
my other fear is like being like left alone somewhere by accident. Like sometimes like when I go to the bathroom in like a public place and my mom has to stay outside to like let's say look at the cart. Um, I go like really fast because what if my mom forgets about me and just leaves?
So I think one of your fears is just being left alone too.
Yeah.
You don't want nobody to leave you.
But like not at home because like I have like internet at my house and I could just call my mom.
So it's more like being left in the store or something like that.
Yeah. Because it's crazies.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazies. I think one time, this is one of the. It actually happened to me. I don't think it's a fear, but it happened. My daughters are coming in the elevator with me, and they have their scooters, but of course they're not listening and they're arguing or whatever. So I get off on my floor. I live on the 32nd floor, so I live very high. So while the two are arguing, the elevator opens. One of them gets out the scooter and and heads in, and then the baby, she's like, I don't know, she couldn't turn the scooter around in time or whatever. She must have been, she's 6 now. She must have been 4. I get out, assuming that she's right behind me, and the elevator closes. So now, the elevator closes. One of my daughters is outside. One of my daughters is in the elevator. So I'm like, oh my God, like what am I supposed to do? So of course she starts crying, but I'm yelling at her. I'm like, Isabella, I can hear you. I can hear you. Press any button, like to press one of the buttons and get out. She's not understanding that. So I have to leave. Well, I have to leave my daughter in the hallway so she could go in the apartment. Then I have to rush down to try to figure out where she's at on 32 floors. Because once the floor opens, anybody could grab her. So I'm calling the security. I'm like, there's cameras in the elevator. I'm calling the security to tell them my daughter's in the elevator. Let me know what floor she gets off on, if she gets off. In between this, I call my mother to see if my mother was downstairs so she could grab her. So I'm making phone calls and I'm rushing down the steps. I happen to check one of them. I get into the elevator. I go all the way down. I said, hopefully I beat the elevator down. But in between that, one of my friends, I'm pretty known in the building, so one of my friends saw her in the elevator, and he was going down. I think he was already on the 8th floor, so he's going down, and he looks at her, he's like, you're by yourself, and she's crying and all that, and then he's like, I'm gonna take you downstairs and then call your dad. But that was really, really scary, because you don't know what could happen, thank God that, I knew somebody that was in the elevator, but it's still scary. She doesn't bring it up, she's not scared of things that way, but she'll mention it every once in a while. She'll be like, Daddy, remember when the elevator closed on me? So now she's a little older, so I think she'll know what to press, or she knows the floors and stuff like that. Like she'll know to press 29 for grandma or something like that. But it was still scary. It was still pretty scary.
That reminds me of that one time me and my mom were just going shopping for some food at our favorite mall, and the elevator, like, it doesn't like wait for anybody, so it just like
It's
closes.
fast, yeah.
Yeah, it just closes at a random time. And while she was giving me the bag, she was putting bags inside. And when she was getting another bag from the cart, I was inside of the elevator, and then it closed on me.
What did you do? You know what floor to press, or you just know to come out and wait for her?
Yeah, so it took me all the way down to the parking lot, but there was these two guys. I remember which floor we were on, so I told them, and yeah, I went back to my mom. But it
You're
was
lucky.
really scary.
Yeah, it's scary. It's the unknown. It's not knowing. It is what scares you. Not the actual you being in the elevator, not you coming out. It's just unknown what's happening. If your mother's gonna come get you, or if these people are gonna hurt me or take me or something like that. So that's a big fear.
I'm kind of scared of that too, because I always think when I'm in an elevator, I always think I'm gonna get stuck or something because it's old.
I mean, if you get stuck in the elevator, it's not like it's gonna fall. Okay, so once you put that in your head, it's not like the elevator. You get stuck and all of a sudden it goes shh. and it goes all the way to the bottom, and it doesn't do that. It just doesn't open the door or something like that, so you can't get out. So I've been stuck in this elevator here a couple of times. In my other job, I've been stuck. I've been stuck one time in my building, but it was like it felt like it was 10 minutes, but it was really like 2 minutes. And I was like, oh man, I'm stuck in the elevator. And then I kept pressing the button. Eventually, it opened up. But my fear was I just didn't want to be late to work. I don't care if I get stuck in the elevator. I mean, eventually, I know people are gonna get you. Some people are like really, really, really afraid of being in a closed place like that. I don't understand how you want me to answer your question when I'm doing a podcast over here. It would make no sense. You have no microphone. Um, Anybody else have any other fears that you
My
want to talk about?
biggest fear
Oh,
is
you have
when
more
I'm
fears. Okay,
being stuck in the elevator and when the elevator is going down. Because last time, um, when I was in the elevator, I almost got stuck, but I didn't down that we went down to the first floor.
Oh, I have another one. So like it's escalators because I've always seen these videos of people like getting like their hair or like their foot or arm stuck in the
Definitely.
escalator. And I also like when the stairs is like coming flat, when I step on it, I always be really
Jump?
careful. Yeah, I jump because I don't want to like trip and fall and
Definitely.
hurt my face.
Escalators are very, very dangerous. That's why I don't play around in escalators. Um, One of my brother-in-law, we went to the movies one time, and he had a new pair of sneakers, and for whatever reason, something of his sneaker lace got stuck in the escalator. So as we're going to the movie theater from one floor to the other, the sneaker lace part got stuck in a groove or something. We didn't know when he got to the top because it was trying to spin around. I guess it was making his shoe tighter or whatever. It actually just cut off like a whole part of the shoe, like the bottom of the shoe, and that was really scary because it happened really, really fast. So you could imagine if you had sandals or you have flip flops and you're in the mall and you're playing and you're talking to them and all of a sudden a string from maybe the dazzles or something from your sandals gets stuck on there, most likely your foot's gonna be gone because those machines are you can see at the edge they have like little teeth and they just keep going in a circle. I think that playing on an escalator, that's one of the dumbest things in the world because those things could really, really hurt you.
I'm kind of scared of trains.
You scared of trains?
Kind of, though. Because, like, every time when the train arrives, you see, like, a thing that there's, like, no, like sidewalk on the thing. So I'm kind of scared that I will, like, fall down on it.
I don't like any public transportation. I'm not scared of it, but I just don't like it. I rather go in my car. I can't stand going in public transportation. I just don't like people under the like in the tunnels and all that stuff. It's just too weird. There's a lot of weirdness going on in the trains, even on the buses now.
And
So
for a long time, my mom didn't have a car, so we had to use public transportation. And when we went to the train, I was always scared of like that little part that was open, like he was talking about, because like my mom would always joke around, like, "Oh, I'm gonna fall."
you could fall in there.
Yeah, but she was always joking around, so I got scared. So when we got a car, I was happy.
Good for you. In certain places, like certain train stations, the gap, that's what they call the gap in between the train and that little platform, it's very big and you could actually fall right through. So that part is very dangerous too.
That's my most biggest fear, getting like falling inside a train thingy when the train is coming.
Oh yeah, well that should be everybody's fear because the chances of that train stopping quickly are slim. So that is one of the trips that I hate the most, and this is like probably hate the most ever, is any trip where I got to take the train with kids. And we do every once in a while we do have a trip that we have to take the train. Very seldom, but let's say we had to go to Yankee Stadium from here, most likely we'll take the train. I hate that trip. I hate the trip because you can't control the crowd. There's going to be a lot of people, especially when it's going to Yankee Stadium, because everyone is trying to go to Yankee Stadium. And then it's a whole bunch of kids, so you got to watch out for every little thing that could happen. So to me, is one of the most fears that I have is basically taking the train with kids. I don't like it.
I'm kind of scared of my brother yelling when something of his is broken, because one of my uncles got him a PS5 for him. Then I'm kind of scared it will break, and then he'll yell.
Well, don't. That's not a fear. Just don't touch his stuff. Then you don't have to worry about it. That's just don't touch my stuff, and you don't have to worry about it. All right, we're good. We got 20 minutes out of this. That was a good topic, right?
Yeah.
And what about the fear of not listening, of nobody listening to the podcast? We don't have that fear.
Kind of.
Yeah, all right.
Kind of.
All right, good. Say your goodbyes.
Bye.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Check.
We're out of here.